Hi, good afternoon. Just like to discuss certain factors that you can consider when you are choosing a stock brokerage firm. So, you've already decided that you would want to do stock investing, but you would need a broker, a stock broker, to be able to do it. You cannot just go to the market and buy stocks by yourself. You have to course your transactions, whether buy or sell, through a licensed stock brokerage firm. So, what would be certain considerations that you may want to look at in choosing your particular stock brokerage firm? For me, the most important one would be the stability and reliability of the firm. You would have to ask yourself, can I entrust my money and investments to this company? Okay, and then what is the likelihood that the company would leave the Philippines or worse, go belly up? Okay, because these are things that may affect your ability to access your investments and to protect your investments. And also, you may want to consider whether would you want to deal with a standalone brokerage house or with a bank or with a brokerage house that is backed by a bank. The advantage of a bank or a brokerage house that is backed by a bank is that that brokerage house or brokerage firm would actually be more careful because uh, the reputation or their transactions and their stability can affect the reputation of the whole of the bank, of the parent bank. So banking is public trust. So and then banking is also heavily regulated by the Bangko Sentral of ng Pilipinas. So if a brokerage house is backed by a bank, a stable bank, then there's less likelihood that there would be, or the company would go belly up or leave the Philippines for that matter. Well, if it's a Philippine bank, then more likely they won't leave the Philippines. But if it's a foreign bank or a foreign house, there's a chance that they may leave the Philippine business depending on the state of the market. That has happened in the past. That some big global brokerage houses and financial institutions actually left the Philippines because the market is already not good for from their point of view. Okay, so that will be considerations. One, stability and reliability of the bank, and you would have to choose whether it's a standalone brokerage house. Example of a standalone brokerage house would be Accord Securities, or there are many actually in the Philippine Stock Exchange. There are more than 100 brokerage firms, and many of those are standalone or maybe connected to a small investment house. So for me personally, between those smaller brokerage firms, I would go with a brokerage house that is attached to a Philippine bank, a major Philippine bank. Uh, f- for me specifically, I actually trade with using BPI Trade. So that's BPI Trade is the online platform of BPI Securities. I've been using that for more than 10 years, almost 15 years, I think. And it's, of course, attached to the BPI group, which is in the top five Philippine banks in the Philippines. BPI, as you all know, has been in the Philippines for more than 150 years. So there's that some level of assurance and reliability on their part. Okay. So after the number one consideration of the stability and reliability, I would look at the second criteria, which is the quality of its trading platform. I would see whether the online trading platform can actually provide graphs, analytics, research, and company news or reports. And then I would also look at the ease of use of the platform. And it will also be a good thing if the platform is not just in the internet through a PC, but also there's an equivalent mobile app or application. Right now, most of the brokerage actually have online internet access, but only a few have comes along with a mobile app. I think the ones that have a mobile app would be Banco de Oro and FMIC. I haven't used those name apps because I do not have accounts with them. BPI Trade for now is just online via internet, via PC. There's no mobile app yet. The advantage for mobile app is that if you're on the go, you're outdoors, and you do not have your laptop with you, more likely you would have your mobile. So like me, I would sometimes go on walks and then I would check my stocks. Then it would be good if there's actually a mobile app instead of just using the mobile browser. If there's a mobile app, that would be more efficient. Okay, and then it would also be good to look at the if the platform itself is stable, meaning it's always on, it's always available, it's not offline, and then if it's also responsive. It can be that it's good, but very slow. That can be a problem if, for instance, there are a lot of users accessing the system. There are talks right now, for instance, that one popular brokerage firm, which is very popular with retail investors, is having problems with the volume of transactions that its retail customer base has. In a way, they're a victim of their success, but I'm sure somehow, hopefully, somehow they can eventually do something about that. Okay, and then also it would be good if the platform would have linkage or natural linkage to your bank accounts. So that would make the cash infusion and your with cash withdrawals easier. So normally the smaller independent stock brokerage firms would have or would be able to link to most or the common bank accounts. The disadvantage, however, of those bank-backed brokerage houses is that normally they would require that you open an account with a specific bank that they are affiliated with. So BPI would require a BPI account. Metro BDO requires a BDO savings ATM account. I'm not sure with the other brokerages. So that's the pros and cons of those accounts. Okay. And another factor that you may want to consider would be the quality of in-house research. So in-house research would also affect the recommendations, broker recommendations, or stock picks. Um, it actually varies. The quality of research would depend on the kind of research team that each company has. Normally, the stock brokerage firms that are attached to global financial institutions would have access to global flows. So, and normally they would also have higher and stringent standards in terms of research. So that's their advantage. However, the advantage of the big local banks is that they would have a wider Philippine base, so they may have more information on local institutional flows, whether corporate or local institutional flows, and even retail flows for those that specialize on the retail investors. So that would be it. The third consideration would be the quality of in-house research. Normally, opening an account with these brokerage houses gives you access to the in-house research. And then lastly, I would look up also at other considerations like minimum investment amount, and the account opening requirements. So just to review the factors that I would be looking at in open, or I would suggest that you look at in choosing your stock brokerage would be as follows. One, the stability and reliability of the firm. Two, the quality of its trading platform. Three, the quality of its in-house research. And four, minimum investment amounts, and account opening requirements. Okay, so I hope you're able to settle on your stock brokerage firm of your choice, and happy trading. Thank you.